In this channel, we are no strangers to mask slips, those moments in which toxic personality just lets his true colors show. And those are magical because it's great spotting them in the wild. In this case, is Gavin Newsom in this resurfaced footage from, some time ago, in which he's asked a question about his drinking problem. This was all the way back to January 2007. He was the mayor of San Francisco back then. And let's say that it didn't go well. Just a few weeks after this exchange that you're about to watch, he acknowledged that he had a drinking problem. He was working on it. And he also had this affair with the wife of, oh my God, that is a subject for another video. But right now, let's focus on this one. Oh, Eric Dougherty says, I actually did not know this about Gavin Newsom. His erratic mannerisms and habits make sense now. Why does he do, all the little dancing? Maybe its origins are in this kind of, let's say, exchanges. Let's watch. Because the first thing that he does is a few pacifiers on his nose.
So I'm asking about the attack on the Yale students over New Year's, and it's kind of spreading across the country. A couple other, some news outlets in other countries are picking it up.
And it's a good reminder how important it is to remind our parents to be good stewards of underage drinking.
A couple of things here. Notice how he is listening to the question. He's pressing his lips. He is looking down. He is really looking down. It's like, do I have something in my nose? Because, maybe he felt it itchy. He began to rub his finger against his nose. Maybe he had allergies or something. He never looks at the reporter in the face. Maybe he knew what was coming. And then when he's finally addressing the issue that happened at Yale University, he has that, he displays for a split second. I wouldn't say that it's duping delighted. Let's move this in slow motion as he still doesn't establish any connection with his eyes until he does this. It's like looking at the Joker right there. It should be a concerning topic, right? It should be a serious topic. And why is he smiling like that? And that's something that he has done all the time. He's always doing all the time. He's always smiling. Even if when he is talking about the Palisades tragedy, all those houses burned and people that lost their homes, all that they had, and he was literally just dancing and smiling. Well, it's been all the time. It's like his usual body language, his baseline. But then he does this.
Of underage drinking.
I appreciate that. The only other question I have is, it hasn't been a very easy week for you, and I'm wondering whether you have any comment on the Mateer and Roth story about the drinking.
Notice that so far, as soon as he answers the question, he does the exact same, repeats the behavior of a second ago. He begins looking down. He's acting like a teenager. It's like a teenager who he's afraid or he did something bad and he's been scolded by the principal and he is, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. Or worse yet, his mother came to pick him up at school and, oh, Mom, why are you doing this to me? He's got a very strange behavior and he rubs his nose again. And then he is asked the question that triggers the reaction. And the reaction, he says the word drinking, the journalist says the word drinking, and I'm going to play the reaction once so you can see it in just one stretch.
Thank you very much. That was a great cheap shot.
You can't help yourself. You cannot. Just know for the record.
Okay, that moment when he says just know for the record, that's the moment that he was trying to stabilize or trying to do an emotional correction of what he just did. He knew this is just like 3 seconds or something when he says that was a great cheap shot and he slaps very hard and very loudly. That is the real Gavin Newsom. For a couple seconds, he showed his true colors? Because he could have answered that question in so many ways, dismissing it, saying that, what story are you talking about? I don't know those. I don't want to address any kind of rumors or any sort of non-reaction, but he reacted like this.
Thank you very much. That was a great cheap shot.
Notice how he says, that was a great cheap shot. You can see the complete grin and leaning away from the reporter, like doing this. That was a great cheap shot. It's like he's in some ways delighted of being caught. A toxic personality being delighted of getting caught. We have heard that before, right? We have had that before here in the channel in so many instances. People that, I was finally caught, because they want you to know. They want you to find out, because in many ways they are, part of the getting away with it. Getting away with it so many times, it gets boring, right? You want people to find out that you have been behaving badly in their faces, and they haven't found out, and they grow frustrated. And maybe this is that kind of reaction. Maybe he was proud of that. That was a great cheap shot. He could have said, I don't know what he's talking about. Those are just rumors. If you want to talk about rumors, well, we could talk about cows flying or something like that. He could have addressed that question in so many ways, but that tells you that he was actually triggered. I mean, that was odd. And what happened right next, that slap?
You can't help yourself.
Was a physical way of, channeling his frustration. He was frustrated. Maybe he was not glad after all. There was this, let's say, conflicting feelings in which he was glad that he's been caught in that, breaking the let's say not law. He is, if you're a drunk, if you're an alcoholic, you're technically not breaking the law, but you were caught. And some toxic personalities enjoy the moment when they get caught. That's part of the the adrenaline of the thing. But that slap, that clapping, very loud clapping, is a physical manifestation of his frustration. That is a red flag, because it means that he finds it hard to control himself physically. He is frustrated and instantly needs a physical venting with that clap, right? He realizes just in a couple of seconds. Let me see. I'm gonna measure the reaction. I'm gonna measure the complete time of the reaction. From that was a great cheap shot. That is 3 seconds. For 3 seconds, Gavin Newsom showed his true colors to the world. And what happened next? I'm gonna play it in just one take. He's just trying to do damage control for those 3 seconds.
You cannot. Just know, for the record, it's increasingly impossible to have a conversation.
The mayor was out there.
Just know it's not personal when I walk by you. You just send some other reporters. It's going to be a lot easier to have.
Mayor's not personal here either.
Towards Channel 7.
I'm sorry?
You keep missing consistently a lot of facts because your opinion is so enthusiastic to getting away on it. And then, let me tell you, the investigation was not helped by a lot of things that are in the report. Just stating that factually as well.
It's just a story, Mayor.
It's just a story, and he can just dismiss them. But yeah, he knows that he really missed the mark. That was a 3-second meltdown that he knows was okay. This shouldn't have happened. What am I doing? I'm reacting like a child. I'm reacting like a teenager, indeed. And then from this point on, when he says, just know for the record, comes a word salad that doesn't need to be addressed or analyzed. It's not necessary because it's his rational mind saying, hey, you know what? You cannot just leave this hanging. You cannot just react like this and just walk away. You have to say something like you are an actual adult, right? You have to behave like an adult. And that is his rational mind trying to fix what he did. This is the kind of stuff that I'm afraid, more than the grin right here, is the clap. Is that clap right after that. Because this tells us a lot of things. I'm going to keep, there's a screenshot that's much better to talk a bit about this. This projects a lot of things in the sense that, yeah, he had a problem. He hadn't acknowledged the problem. It is, of course, hard to acknowledge these kind of problems. That is granted. That is understandable. And it's great that he afterwards addressed the situation, apparently, and he got hold of that and stopped drinking. But it's the kind of reactions that you don't know if they were product of the drinking or if it's his personality or his way of behaving in itself. And that is the kind of red flags I always advise you to pay attention to because, well, in the end, when you learn to spot them, you can avoid a lot of trouble with very bad people. But I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Bad Language Guy. Much love and bliss.